little bit more for some guys to appear, and then we can start with this next Genexus webinar. It's almost about time. So we'll learn a little bit about Gartner and Genexus, I hope. ¿Se escucha? Do you hear? Okay. Hi everybody. Okay, it's almost time. We are about to start. Okay, being time, it's time, so I will start with this webinar. First of all, my name is Gabriel Simonet. I'm Chief Marketing Officer here in Genexus. Been working here for almost 5 years. The guys told me I should make this call, which I gave for the distributor meeting last October, and they told me you have to do the same keynote, but do it as a webinar for us to have. So here I am. The idea is, okay, to in a short call, in a short webinar, tell you what we have learned about Genexus by working with Gartner. That's the name of the webinar and the talk. Okay, so Gartner. I guess that because you are here, you already know who Gartner is. Gartner is a consultancy company who works in and analyzes different markets and tries to get beforehand the knowledge of what the markets want, what the problems of the companies will be, and what the challenges are for the companies. And for us, it was very interesting to get closer to them because they talk about a lot about technology, which is our turf. So what the thing is that many clients of us and people that we try to reach out to ask us, okay, what does Gartner say about you? And that's one of the key questions. What does Gartner say about Genexus is one very important question. And the truth is that we really weren't sure what they say. We thought that Gartner didn't say about anything about Genexus. So we say a few years ago with Aníbal Gonda, we started to try to introduce Genexus a little more to Gartner, and we started to. There is an option for doing so in the Gartner website, which is create a vendor briefing. And you make a request and state the reason for that briefing, and you select some analyst you want to talk to, and you submit the request. After a while, we did that a few times, and after a while, each time the answer was always the same, and say, okay, thank you for your submission. We reviewed it, but we are at the time we are not interested in knowing more about Genexus and your tool. Please try again in another time. But so we had a question that we have. Would this be different if we were Gartner clients? Would the result of this vendor briefing request be different? Could we get their attention and make them analyze a little bit more about our company and our technologies? So the main question was to be, okay, should be a Gartner client or not to be? So, and we started to talk to them in that regard. We wanted to see what did they offer to their clients, because we really wanted to be perhaps in some reports or the ideal to be in some magic quadrant, which was one of the questions our clients made us a lot of times. But when we talk with them, the truth is that what they sell is not the apparition, the mention in those reports, but they say, okay, you can be a Gartner client, it costs so much, but what you will get is, okay, you will get to access to reports and market analysis, which are of great value and present a lot of information, that is valuable to companies and can help make decisions and improve their strategy or their communication. But that's not exactly what we wanted. And they told, okay, we can guarantee you, we can give you also access to the same analysts that write those reports. So you can ask them questions and perhaps dig deeper a little bit, in a little bit in the issues of the reports. But we cannot guarantee any result or final inclusion in any report, in any quadrant, or we cannot guarantee that a particular analyst or set of analysts will be talking about Genexus, and no matter if you were clients or not. So analysts are independent from from the decision of the commercial side. So so we started to talk a lot with Gisela Bertelli, which is in charge of sales, and with Nicolas Hodal, who is our CEO, and Gisela and I tried for 2 or 3 years to convince Nicolas of going and becoming a client of Gartner, and he didn't. In spite of the amount of information that Gartner had, he wasn't sure if he wanted to do that investment, because it was not sure that we will have a result besides the information and stuff. So after insisting a few years, 2 years or a little bit more, at some point Nicolas was a little bit tired of we coming always with the same thing and questions. Say, well, I'm not convinced, but you can do whatever you want. Please don't bring this subject anymore to me. So we talked with Gisela, and we decided that what we really wanted to do was to become a Gartner client, to explore the possibilities that this company had for us. So after Gisela and I set our minds on it, we say, okay, how should we proceed? And Gisela was very skillful, and she said, okay, you will do it. So she sent me to start to working with Gartner, and so we started. We became a Gartner client, and there are several lessons we can tell you about what we have learned about both the process of being a Gartner client and also what we learned about Genexus ourselves. So let's go to that. Okay, the first lesson is regarding on being Gartner. After we started to work with Gartner, they assigned us an account manager, and he told us a little bit about the process of being Gartner, because guys, there is a process. Okay, there is a process of being Gartner, and there is a simple process that requires a few steps. Okay, so for those who are interested in knowing more, it's like this. You have to read a lot, to research a lot of what they are writing, be aware of what they are making as reports and information. And from all that an immense, huge pool of information you have to pick some papers. Okay, the papers that reflect the most your company or your market of the place you are willing to be. So after you pick those papers, you identify which are the analysts that wrote those papers, and then you, with Gartner, ask Gartner, hey, I would like to have a call with the analyst of this report because I have this question and that other question, and make a set of interesting questions to those analysts, and try to, in the process, when you have the call, try to make those questions and also talk about your experience regarding the same situation of those technologies or those markets as a part of a company called, in this case, Genexus, which does that thing and that other thing. So the process of this is twice. One is to make the analyst become aware of who you are, of what your company is about. But the main objective of those calls is to charm the analysts. Okay, you really have to get to them to understand that you really are an expert in the field, in the same field that they are working every day, which is difficult because those guys really are not just marketees. They are really people that are very proficient and very experienced in the areas that they write about. So because every call will always end up in having some technical part to it, and I am a marketing guy and not a technical guy. I recruited a few guys that helped me withstand the inquiries of the analysts when it went to a technical side. Most in the middle is Eugene. Eugene is in charge of all what CXFlow and the BPM suites of Genexus and all what has to be with SIP related products. He's a very experienced and very skillful explainer, so he helped me a lot. And of course, Gaston Milano, which is on the right side, who is the CTO of our company, and of course, this was one of the most technical minds, but also a great storyteller. So with the help of them both, we advance a lot in the process, and you will learn a little bit of the results we are having in this process of being Gartnered. Okay. The other lesson that we discovered being a Gartner client is that Gartner has in fact talked about Genexus a few times over the years. So we didn't have access to this information before being a Gartner client. But after that, we discovered, okay, there's some mention in the BPM Magic Quadrant of pure play BPM solutions. There are a very old mention regarding AS400 and rapid application development suite. So there are several places where we appeared, and it was nice to know that after and read a little bit about in what context was Genexus talked about. There was not much information and it didn't go very deep, but we were regarded as players in some of those spaces. So it was very nice to learn. Okay. Another lesson is we had this what Gartner called bimodal IT. Okay, and this we discovered we made it before we were Gartner clients, but we could dig a little bit deeper being Gartner clients. And what's the bimodal IT? Okay, the Gartner says, well, there is an IT problem. Okay, the IT has this problem that is IT needs reliability for business sake. Okay? You really have to do the things in a sure, methodical, and slow way for nothing to get broken. That's one mode. But on the other hand, your business needs innovation. It needs to take risks. It needs to incorporate new technologies and do it fast. It needs to make new processes, new ways of doing things to remain relevant for the market. But that's what they say is, okay, you really need two teams to do these things, because you can't do both things with the same team. Okay, you have to keep the business running for one side. On the other side, you have to deliver innovations to customers. That's a problem, because one team has to be focused on reliability, and the other has to be focused in innovation. They have to do the risk, do things fast, and there are two ways of looking at the world, and you need both things to your IT department to work. So that's what Gartner says. Okay, so but one interesting thing is, okay, Genexus identified the same problem 30 years ago. We didn't call it bimodal IT, okay, but we identified that problem, and we also sought on a way of solving it. Okay, and the thing is, we as Genexus, we have an objective, which is innovation. And that innovation is a specific, particular kind of innovation, which wants to bring to our clients both things, both the ability to create innovation, but the ability of doing that in a reliable and secure way. So that's our way of doing things, is like by model, we are the ones that do the things, takes the risk, and incorporate new technologies for our clients to be able to do whatever they need to do in their businesses without taking so many risks, without investing so much, and without having to learn everything, every new technology, every trend every day. So it's a learning about bimodal IT helped us explain a little bit better how we identify this problem and what we think about software development and the challenges that IT department has in the future. So that's one of the other lessons. The next lesson has to be regarding digital transformation, which is something that you must be hearing nowadays everywhere. Actually, digital transformation was the main subject or the leitmotif of our last Genexus meeting, where we talk about dream digital. Okay, we have dream big, dream together, and dream now, dream digital, because we wanted to talk a lot about digital transformation and how the new version of Genexus could help our clients and could help the market to become that digital transformed. So the thing is that I'm going to say about digital transformation is that, okay, you really have to, your business has to digitally transform or it will be disrupted. Okay, so, and what they talk not only about the technology side of the problem, but they also talk about the business side. Okay, you really have to change your technology, but most important, you really have to be thinking about new business models that are now possible because of technology. Because if you don't, you don't think and you don't apply the new business models or new business possibilities that technology brings, the competition will do it. So you have to be doing both things, changing your technology and changing your business at the same time. And this brings something an interesting problem, which is you for doing this you really need also now two teams, but one is that's focused on thinking what we have to do what we have to do, what will we as a company need to do in the future to remain relevant in our market, and this is a task that is done by business professionals. Okay, and they are focused on what to do. And then on the other side, you will have, once you have this model, this idea, this project, you will have to implement. And this will be done by technology professionals, which are mainly focused on how to do the what. So they really how to implement this technology, how to code, how to do this database, how to do the deployment of the application. Okay, you have and this is a problem because there are two kinds of people that are talking about two different things, completely different things. The business professionals are thinking on what, and the technology professionals on how, and that brings from that size gamma a lot of problems to the company because they are speaking speaking of different things, and we say with Genexus 8. Actually, with Genexus, you have both business professionals and technology professionals thinking on what. This is an invoice we have to make. This is a store we have to incorporate data to. We have to have some vehicles in our system that's carrying information. It's more important when you work with Genexus. It's more the way you think of things is on focusing on the what, because then Genexus will take every piece you describe, the green one, the orange one, and the blue one, and make that a whole system automatically, because Genexus is the one who is thinking in how to implement the what that was defined both for business professional and business analysts that work with Genexus. So Genexus solves a lot of the challenges that company face from being able to do the digital transformation. It helps both in the technology side and also in the way that business professionals and business technology professionals communicate to each other. So this is another thing we have learned about Genexus and that we can tell about our tool on the issues that we solve with. Okay, another lesson is regarding what's called digital assets. Sorry. The digital assets. Okay, digital assets are the assets that companies need to protect as they go to digital if they want to stay in business in the future and not to perish. That's what's it's all about regarding Gartner. And for Genexus, the digital assets that we normally talk about are the following. We're talking about business knowledge, okay? That's a digital asset, the way your company do stuff, do things, what's important and unique to your business, which is stored and described in Genexus when you create a system. The data of your company or all the inputs you are having of your business, and the algorithms, which are the pieces that take those data and do stuff with that. So we all the time we hear about how data and algorithms are going to be the key of success for companies and the things you have to protect most. But the truth is that, for example, algorithms are not protected normally. Nobody's talking about that algorithms for the companies are not protected in any way because there are created as part of code. The algorithms that process the information of companies are almost always on code. So if technology change, you will have to remake your algorithm. You will have to revise all that and do again. But Genexus, on the other hand, in the way we work, we protect both the business knowledge, the data, and the algorithms. They are stored in a knowledge base, which is the Genexus project, that's independent from technology. I will be protecting those digital assets that are so important for companies. So the way of working with those digital assets that Genexus has been one of the interesting new things we are talking about now when we talk about Genexus and the advantages we have as a tool and a platform for creating applications and to be able to survive different technology ways with our technology. Okay, and one of the last lessons that these sessions will have is a very interesting piece of paper which is called Market Guide for High Productivity Rapid Applications Development Tools. First one of the lessons was to discover that existed such a paper. And basically, this is a paper which they say Gartner say you have to use the following key features as a guide to identify which of those platforms you will have to pick or you will be picking for your organization. And one of the beautiful things about this paper is they list a set of features, okay, and they say, okay, and this feature you can have it in a low and medium or high level developed. So you have to like analyze each one of those to give points to each platform and so on, and decide which platform you will pick. And when we analyze that list to see what were the pros and the best things to have in each of them, we realized that Genexus was very well equipped in every set of those features that Gartner was talking about for this kind of application development tools. So we are talking now, for example, Gartner is talking a lot about model over code, which is a way of describing the knowledge-based development approach we have. We are focused on the description of the problems instead of how to code something specific. For example, low-code support is okay. It is a model, they like being model-driven tool or something like that. But normally, when you focus on models, you lose some flexibility. So this platform should have some way of adding specific low-code extensions, which also Genexus have a very powerful sets of possibilities to create extensions for Genexus. There are one button application deployment, which Genexus also have, one button revision control, which we have, live prototyping, which we launched for the last the Genexus 15, which is our last version, and it's the only live prototyping and live editing tool that works from an IDE, which is cross-platform. So it's a great solution. And all of this, for example, smart application connect or service-oriented architecture, we were very, very well positioned in those places. Collaborative development, social development is relation with, it's like with the marketplace. Does this company or platform have a marketplace for developers to push their own solutions or their own creations? And if so, what we have, so Genexus also has. The only place where we have where we need to work in this regarding this report a little bit more is the app management and analytics services, because we can integrate different analytics services, but we have to improve how we do that to simplify this process for the developers. But besides that, we were very, very, very well positioned to talk about Genexus when we analyze each of these features. And with this information, we are starting to attack our clients in a different way. So it was another very interesting lesson for us to discover. So and before ending, I wanted to recommend to the last stage, and if you want, we can have some questions. If you want to write them down and in the chat, I can read them later. I wanted to talk a little bit before departing about the results we are having or what we have after almost 1 year of working with Gartner. Okay, and the results are the same, are the following. We learned a lot. We learned a lot of how to talk about ourselves and our technology in ways that normally we didn't do. And I think there is so much we can still discover to help people understand what Genexus is and what the advantages of our platform are, and in a way that they can understand, or in a way that the market is talking about these decisions. Okay, how is the market talking about cloud? How is the market talking about IoT? How what new technologies and new trends are coming and that we can capitalize? Like it was digital transformation, digital assets, bimodal IT. We can use those and place Genexus in that context and talk a lot better about our solution and help people understand better what our solution is about. But one of the great things that we achieved was that in approximately half of 2016, we were called CoolVendor in Spanish Latin America by Gartner, which is a very interesting analysis to read about what our advantages are and what challenge we are facing as a company. But it was a great success. So both Gisela and me won't be fired anytime soon for making the decision of becoming a client. But as I was preparing this presentation, I was gathering a little more of information regarding Genexus and inside Gartner, and I discovered that also we were called cool vendors for the Asia Pacific market, which I don't know if you know. We are a company that's very strong in Latin America. We have also clients all around the world, but our biggest market currently is Japan. So we were, because of that and the technologies we are providing to our clients, we were called cool vendor in Asia Pacific. But being a cool vendor, although it's very cool and very interesting, and of course it was a recognition for the work that Genexus is doing in the innovation department of our area and market. It's just the first step, and we want to continue. So another result, and perhaps one of the most interesting results we had our first successful vendor briefing in the 1st of November, a month and 2 weeks ago, and were involved analysts from the Magic Quadrant for Mobile Application Development Platform and the Market Guide for High Productivity Rapid Application Development Tools. And those analysts also requested a demo, which we'll be conducting in a few weeks, of Genexus. And also we are starting to contact Gartner with some of our big clients for them to understand a little bit more about what Genexus is and how we helped our companies, our client companies for almost 30 years. So that's the main results for the time being. And one of the things that we said in the Genexus meeting, which was about digital transformation. Okay, you have to dream digital, but before doing that, you have to to do what we did for when we started to work with Gartner. You have to first dream now. We started dreaming this stuff more than 2 or 3 years ago. You have to dream together. You have to create a team that helps you do your objective, and you really have to dream in. You have to believe that you are capable of reaching the place where you want to be. And I think we have done that, and we will continue doing so regarding this and other subjects. So this is a little bit more or less what I wanted to tell you about what we have been doing with Gartner. But I'm open to questions if anybody has. And thank you for now, but I'm open to questions for a few minutes. If you are interested, I will try to answer. Okay, first question is from Greg Lloyd. Thank you, Greg. Is what have Gartner suggested should be the next 1 or 2 things which Genexus should focus on or market more? I was in Mexico a few weeks ago in a CEO meeting by Gartner, and I met some of the analysts we are talking about. And one of the things they say us is we have to improve the way we talk about our technologies and how we talk about ourselves. They are learning a lot more about Genexus, and they are interested in knowing more Genexus because next year they will be pushing what is going to be the low-code application development tools, which Genexus fits in that category of of platforms. Okay, you don't have to be an engineer to create applications. You can learn to create applications in an easy way, and Genexus fits this place, right? And they've been talking about how we are going to talk about these subjects. I think the low-code platform market Genexus as a low-code platform for developing applications that helps. The other thing that they are talking about, which is citizen development, which is people that are not IT professionals that now are in companies creating applications, and it's very important to have solutions that are very simple to learn and gives them power to do the applications themselves without having to wait for an IT department that makes that. So that's more or less what we've been talking about. We are still a lot of analysts we have to talk to. For sure, they will telling us a lot more that we have to focus in the next year. But for now, that's what I have. I have another question from Kapil. Hi, Kapil. What are the plans for implementation of IoT using Genexus? Well, this is a very interesting and technical question. But what I can tell you about is Genexus been always a great way of incorporating external data sources. And IoT is nothing more like that. That's a new data source that you can work with from Genexus, and we'll be incorporating different things for improving that. For instance, but technology of third-party providers like could be SAP, which already have as a part of the SAP HANA Cloud platform. They have all the IoT sources, and we are looking at ways on incorporating besides a new external data source that could be some devices from IoT, which is easy to do with Genexus. But there are other providers that have solutions that we are looking to incorporate also. Hope this is kind of a answer for you. I'm not the technical guy, but I can get you one if you want. Okay, this is an interesting question, and technically, I cannot. Okay, I will. Can Genexus share Gartner reports which reference Genexus so that we can use these reports to provide our new potential customers with comparisons, reports, and ideas? We can support. We can share some stuff we are authorized because to share with clients, and we can request specific portions of that are interesting to us to share with clients, but we have to go through a quotes approval process to do that. Having said so, is we can take a look at different reports and see if we have to buy some reprints or some stuff that's not out of the discussion. But the reprints of Gartner are pretty much expensive to have it like a brochure, but perhaps an intermediate strategy for having quotes on segments of portion of texts or stuff in another brochure of which talk about another thing, that's more possible, I think. Perhaps you can reach to me and we can discuss the different papers that are around and see what we can do about it. Oh, thank you. Okay, I think no more questions for now. Okay, I think we can wrap this up now and hope you stay tuned to the next webinar, which will be consumed, I've been told. Thank you for being here. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.